linked into our reward philosophy. As a reward function, we would like to be based on a market level. But when it comes to areas where we would like to overinvest, we are looking at which benefit could actually support family-friendly, such as prolonged maternity leave, parental leave, caregiver leave, areas linking into support family. If it's actually a strategy from the Lego Group, that's the area where we would like to overinvest. On all other elements, we would like to be market-driven, be on a market level. But the areas where it's important for the Lego Group, family-friendly, we would like to overinvest.
And I think when we think about family-friendly, we often tend to only think about families with children. But I truly believe our benefits are fully for all and different constellations of families. So I personally do not have children, but I have a parent that I feel very secure that if there ever need be, I can take time to care for them. But also, whenever we stress or whenever we have some issues with finances or anything outside of work, we can lean on our employee assistance program. So I truly believe our benefits, family-friendly benefits, are for all of us.
For me, working in a family-friendly environment, it's enjoyable. It's a way that I can really work on my career, but not at the detriment of my family. I can shine, but then there's the understanding that sometimes family has to come first, and then I might have to leave early to pick up a sick child, etc. But nobody takes that as something that I've sort of, Hugo. This is Hugo. He's after his car. So yeah, it doesn't mean that I have to put my job on hold. I can keep, excelling and progressing up my career ladder, and still having a wonderful time nurturing my family. Should we get your car? Where's it gone? You go get it. Sorry. I was also really fortunate to have been given Better Up coaching. So when I came back to work, another level of support. Sorry. Hugo, do you need a wee-wee? And why'd you say you need a wee-wee? No. Okay. We'll see what we're mid potty training. We'll see what happens. So sorry, yes, I was really fortunate when I came back after my first maternity leave. My boss at the time, my people leader, had arranged for some Better Up coaching to help just support my journey back into work after my first child. It wasn't actually something I asked for. It was something that she just thought was a good opportunity and she put me forward for. That was fantastic. I was able to speak to somebody external, share any sort of things that were troubling me or that were proving difficult with the work-life balance, and work through some of those things, meaning I was just able to really focus on performing when I was at work. And it's interesting because I'm now actually starting Better Up coaching with the Lego Group for a second time as part of an L&D course that I'm on. So yeah, it's really nice to see how my career has changed in those sort of 4 years, but still to have that opportunity available to me for a second time is brilliant. I think it really comes down to the fact that I'm ambitious and I want to progress within my career. I want to add value to the Lego Group. I want to feel proud of what I can achieve. And I haven't had to stop and take a career break as such. I've been really lucky that I've been able to continue, and I've taken a promotion whilst being at the Lego Group. Right. And there was a point in time where I'd been on maternity leave longer than I had actively been in my focused role. So, to be able to have been given that opportunity to grow my family, but also grow my career at the same time, that's what that support has meant for me.
I love offsite, first of all. And of course, with the second kid, there was an offsite right after I returned from maternity leave. So just imagine first week from return to work and then the week after, 3 days offsite. And I was like, of course, I can't not miss that. Sounds like really fun and getting back to the colleagues. And so, okay, David, what are we going to do, right? How can we make this all work? Because at that time we have 2 kids, not just 1, 2 kids. So we start coordinating grandparents. Can you come to Odense at that time? It was the offsite. And very nicely, actually, he got booked a room that we had a space for both of us and the kids, just to make sure that because there were so many people attending the offsite, so we make sure that we had a room. At that time, due to both of us working in the same organization and being invited to the outside. That was also not a problem. And then I remember being breastfeeding between the breaks, or even inside the outside itself. I remember there was running a nice, what's called, a kind of activity. And I was like, okay, I will stay here. Now is the time to breastfeed. I will just remain in the room and nothing. Obviously, no one is telling you anything because it's normalized. And I think the fact that it's normalized is a good thing. So you didn't feel awkward. You didn't feel like you didn't belong there. It was just a natural part of who you are as a mom and as a working mom, just to just do it.
It was a good experience. I was able to hand over our daughter whenever she needed to eat and get out of the way for the rest of the time, leaving Lara to focus on her work and the experience that they were having there. We've had these recent changes in regulation in Denmark where there's a minimum earmarked amount of time for parental leave for the father. And one of the consequences is that the babies still breastfeed when the mom goes back to work. And so that's how we used People House at the time. I'd just hang out. You can always pump, but we didn't do that. It was more complicated to get the pumping done rather than actually having me plan my whole day around being available with the baby. But that's what People House did for us, made it comfortable and possible. There's a baby changing room or a room for breastfeeding. There are toys. You can bring your stuff and just an openness to people using it. It's a professional place to be, but also a place for family.
I don't remember how many times I've breastfeed Eva in People House. Many times.
One of the amazing things about working for the Lego Group is even before COVID was a thing, even, back when I started in 2019, we had a flexible approach to working that was really family first. And I saw others around me, even before I became a parent, really lead by example in terms of if they need to pick their kids up, that's a priority. If they have a school play or somebody's hurt or, anything relating to family, you don't have to justify it. You just kind of feel like very empowered to prioritize the needs of your family and including yourself in that. That's lovely singing, darling. That's very nice. And when I became a parent, it was completely the same. All parents can relate to going back to work and getting all the nursery bugs and, they're always sick and there's always one thing after the other or, it does take a while to reorient yourself when you're going back into the workplace. And that flexibility is really helpful. It allows you to really do the best job because you're never feeling guilty about having to put the needs of your family first. And without that guilt in your mind, you're able to think clearly and ultimately do a better job for the business and for your team as well.